And what day is your wedding on again?
It is on October 27th of
Okay,
next year, which is a Saturday.
got you. Okay, I think my screen is up.
Wow, I sound so country. That's great. Love it.
Oh, you hear yourself on the TV now or on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So go ahead. All right. I always start my briefings. I'm trying to wait for the screen to come up on this first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I always start my briefings where I always tell people up front who I am. And the reason I explain this up front is so people understand that the reason for the pricing. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people have a lot of some people have an issue with the price being so low. So I kind of explained that because I'm retired military and
Yeah.
I'm retired military slash I'm a VA vet, so it's kind of like um, veteran. So it's kind of one of those things to where I get all my benefits and my retirement. So I technically living comfortable, so I'm able to adjust my prices to be able to support and make it easy for other people to have a great wedding day, a great event, or whatever it is. So that's why my price is a lot lower because I don't need the money to survive. It's just enough
Yeah.
money just to keep the business running.
Well, no, it's definitely appreciated, and I appreciate the honesty about it as well.
You
That's,
know,
I mean, it's just awesome.
I always explain that up front so people understand that.
Yes, sir. You will get no complaints from me.
Next slide. Go. Let's take a delay. Wow, it's a long delay. The next slide is just more so. I always put my customers first. One of the things you'll learn about me is that if I have it in my arsenal, let's say for example, if you have something, or let's say you need a backdrop and you don't want to go out and
Mm-hmm.
spend the money for that backdrop, I already have it. If I already have something that you need for your wedding day, then all you gotta do is I'll show you my full inventory, which I think I sent you a copy already. But
Yes, sir, you did.
as I every month I purchase something new for my company. So what I do is I update my customers. So if it's something that you can use for your wedding day, just let me know. It doesn't cost anything extra, but it's just something where I always like if it's kind of like a lending closet for weddings or events. So if I have it,
Mm-hmm.
you can use it for your wedding
Perfect. You're great. I just want to hug you already.
day.
Seriously.
I try to make
Oh,
it.
but that is awesome. Now the backdrop, I'm assuming, like, are you talking about like and this may sound stupid, but give me an example of what you're talking about. I think I know. I just want to make sure.
Well, what is like for weddings, you have like I just ordered a double drape backdrop for weddings, which is like the white silky material,
Okay.
and it's about it's 20. I'm sorry, I want to say it's 10 feet high and 20 feet across,
Okay.
and I just
So
ordered
people
it.
use that at like ceremonies or receptions or both
You can
or.
use it for you can use it for if you want to set it up for the reception, for where the sweetheart table is going to be set up, or if you want to use it for a ceremony, you can use it for a ceremony. But it's just one of those things. Once I get it, well, normally what it is when I get something new, I actually take pictures of it and I send it to my clients so that they can take a look and see if it's something they want to use or not.
Okay, perfect.
This slide here just kind of shows like I've been in business since 2013, and since then, as you can see, I started off things were kind of slow. Word of mouth, 85% of my business comes from word of mouth. As you, like just how you was contacted, it was technically word of mouth, which is going good. That's a good
Yes, it
thing.
was.
But 15% comes from my social media like Facebook. So I kind of like use Facebook and my website to reinforce what you probably already heard word of mouth. And then
Yes, sir.
it just kind of goes from kind of shows like how I went from 2013 just to 28, and I jumped up 2014 to 79. And then as far as more when more people hear about me and hear about my business, it just as you can see the numbers go up. The reason why they went down from 2015 2016, I did raise the prices up just a little bit more, just so I'm able to purchase more equipment.
Okay.
All right. Give me a second. It's a slight delay.
You are just fine.
All right. Now, insurance, what it is that most venues, and I haven't checked on your venue yet, but most venues require sometimes the DJ have insurance to cover. So if something blows up, like a speaker blows up or something that nature happens, it's covered. So I am
Okay.
insured DJ company, so you don't have to worry about that. My policy is pretty much $1 million. So it pretty much, if you do have a venue or your venue is that, I do have it. All I have to do is provide them a copy of the documentation.
Okay, perfect. Miss Dama, who is like the coordinator for the location or the venue, she didn't say anything to me about that at all. She pretty much included everything I needed to know about any vendor that I use. She didn't say anything about that, but that is something for me to double check. So I'll be happy to do that.
Okay. But yeah, that's one of the things. It's very rare 'cause up here, I think in Fayetteville, is only but two locations. I think two or three locations that require it, but most venues don't really require that insurance. Some require that, like if you have alcohol, that you have to get a special type of insurance. But most of the time, it's very rare. I mean, I see that more up north than I do anywhere down south.
I got you. That makes sense.
Now, now that this portion, this is how I can see how I can support your wedding day. And I always ask my clients, what is your vision? And by you telling me what your vision is for your wedding day, like just a general, not what you want me to do as your DJ, but just a general idea of what you're trying to do for your wedding day, your wedding ceremony, your wedding reception. Just kind of give me a snapshot of what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, me and Christian, we are, well, not Johnson, Christian, sorry. We're very down to earth people, very calm. We love our family and our friends. And so that day, granted, it is about me and him getting married, but all of the people that are there, have been with us through this entire time. And I just really like the down home feel of things, like, the music, the decorations, the food, the comfort. That's how I want everyone to feel. Basically, I want everyone to have a good time. I just want everyone to celebrate us, but also have a great time themselves. It's really hard for me to like pinpoint exact things that I want because I unfortunately am one of those indecisive women. Like I know what I want, but I don't at the same time. But I do know that that day is it's gonna be a huge deal for me because granted, we are getting married. We have been together almost 9 years now, and the black and white couple. At first, my family didn't accept it, and now they do. And it's just a great feeling to basically bring everyone together.
Okay. All right. So what so that get like that's kind of like a perfect vision. So I got kind of gives me an idea of what I can do. And what I do is like I take the information, what you just told me in reference to what you're trying to achieve with your wedding, and I kind of like break it down and explain how my company can come in and support that vision. Like I know right now
Okay.
you say you got plenty of time though. You got almost a whole year. So as we get
Oh
closer,
my God, I'm crazy. I pretty much have everything except a dress and a caterer. I'm crazy now.
oh no, that's a
I
good
don't
thing.
need. It is, but I feel like I'm crazy. Like people think, oh my God, I didn't have that plan until like 6 months before. I was like, I got bills.
But no, you're doing good because like you're I mean, most of my customers when they wait closer, like let's say once you get within 6 months, that's when it kind of gets critical, because like you
Mm-hmm.
put yourself in bad spot. But by you having a year, you're giving yourself so much extra time to where even if something pops up, you'll still have time to maneuver and deal with it. Because at this point, I think you
Correct.
get sound like you got everything locked in, so you're in good shape.
Yeah, this day is, everyone stresses out about this day, and I just refuse to stress about a day that's supposed to be the happiest day, or one of the happiest days of your life. I refuse to stress. So that's why I'm trying to like lock everything in and, just pick people who I feel like can help me do so, and so far I truly feel like you can do that.
Okay. Well, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do it. Now, we got one question. Do you think your
Yeah.
wedding day is gonna be traditional or non-traditional? And when I say traditional, is your wedding day gonna be like the typical, like you're gonna have like the normal ceremony and normal reception? And now the difference between normal and non-traditional. Non-traditional is like if you change up something. Like I had one wedding where the groom came in last, or like I had one wedding where they did Star Wars as their theme. I had another wedding that did the Cinderella thing. So it's kind of like
Oh,
those are
that's so
those are
cute. But
those.
it definitely will be traditional.
Okay, so that's kind of like the
But
difference
I'm
between.
jealous.
But But that's kind of like the difference between traditional and non-traditional. So I always want to explain that. So, because some people, when I say traditional, it's just like it's a normal flow of things. Non-traditional are the ones where it's like it has a special theme, so it's go along with a movie or it goes along with like their own like dancing type scenario. I had one dancing wedding where they danced in, so it's like those are your non-traditional type weddings. So I always ask that
I
question.
got you.
Okay.
I got you. Yeah, and as far as I know, that would be traditional. Unless they have something officially they have not told me about.
Okay.
Once they bet it out, I will hurt somebody.
But most likely, the majority of our weddings are traditional. It's like every now and then I'll have one. It's like I'll have about 4 or 5 that are non-traditional throughout the year. But I always want to cover that information just to be sure.
No, that's perfect. That's something I didn't even think about.
And that you believe it or not, a lot of people don't really look at it until someone lays it out to them because like it's in your mind of what you want to happen, but once you start looking at the structure and how it's put together, then that's when it becomes a little bit more challenging. Now I'm not sure you can't see that too well, can you?
It's just loading. It looks like.
Okay, because you can't really see the wording, and I think that's the point. But what I'll do is I'll kind of try to explain it. On the first section of it, the way a wedding day is broken down, you have your wedding ceremony, your social hour, then your wedding reception. Now, the way things flow, like your wedding ceremony, if you're doing like a traditional wedding ceremony, your wedding ceremony will probably last anywhere between 25 to 45 minutes. How big is your bridal party?
We have 5 bridesmaids and 5 groomsmen. No ring bearers or flower girls.
Okay, so you're looking at close to maybe 30 minutes for your ceremony. So that for the
Yes,
ceremony portion of it, then you bam, you go through it. You have your ceremony. Now, from your ceremony, the transition from your ceremony to reception is where your photographer, he or she, is going to take y'all out to take pictures. Are y'all going to be taking pictures at that location, or y'all going somewhere else to take pictures?
yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir. We'll be there as far as I know. I haven't decided anywhere else yet, just because I'm all about convenience.
okay. Well,
But
that
yes, sir, as far as I know, we'll be there.
okay, that's perfect because then it kind of saves you some time to where you can focus more on pictures versus traveling to the location. So as your photographer, as he or she is taking your pictures, your guests are now going to move into the social hour, and within that social hour, pretty much what I do for the social hours, I provide like light wedding jazz music type, and I'm playing music, entertain your guests, and taking pictures of your guests so you have a nice collection of who all came to your wedding.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And the reason why I do that is that your photographer, professional photographer, is going to be taking pictures of you, the bridal party, the bridal family. So you'll have pictures of your bridal family. But like me, my focus is what's going on around y'all. So as a secondary
Yeah,
photographer, I'll be taking pictures of your guests, what's going on, what's taking place. So you have a nice complete package of your wedding day.
that's so awesome.
From that standpoint, we move from the social hour into the wedding reception. Now, the wedding reception, and this is just my own little philosophy or my theory about wedding days, is that the wedding reception is broken into 2 different parts. You have the formal portion and then the informal portion. With the formal portion, that's pretty much where you want all your particular things to take place. That's kind of like your first dance, your bridal your toast, your bridal toast, your father daughter dance, the groom
Yes,
mother
sir.
dance, all those special things. If you're playing the shoe game, all those things are all part of the formal. And the reason why I say those are the formal things is that's where majority of your guests are going to stay for those type of events.
Right,
The
right.
informal portion of it is when you transition into the dancing. Normally, when you open up the dance floor, that's when you start to lose your guests. So if
Mhm.
and I explain this to people is that like if you do everything during the formal, you'll have a lot more people involved, a lot more people present. Where if you try to do some dancing, normally that's the cue for some people to say, okay, it's now we can leave. Um, because like a lot of people just some people not like I say a lot, but some people just don't want to dance, so they'll get up and leave.
Yeah.
So I explain that to my customers because it's important that they know that if you're trying to really get more people involved, the best time to do it is during the formal time because then you get more people involved. It's like the larger the crowd that's present, the more of a good feeling you have for your wedding day. If you're doing
Yes, sir.
something and there's only 5 people there, it kind of loses its excitement.
Yeah, I agree there.
So that's pretty much the breakdown of a wedding day. And I kind of like, I added this in my presentation this year because a lot of people, like I say, they don't really know what what to expect until it's too late. So I kind of
Yeah,
give that
I agree.
snapshot. The next thing I'm going to show you is the services that you're going to get. And I know you probably saw this in the packet. In all my packages, doesn't matter which one you choose, you're going to get the video DJing. And with the video DJing, it's kind of different. Have you ever seen a video DJ before?
No, sir, I have not. I
Okay,
don't think I have anyway. If I have, I didn't know what I was looking for.
okay. As a video DJ, and I think it's again, I'm kind of like a new pioneer doing something different. Is I implement videos to kind of like to bring kind of take it to another level for the wedding day. So one of the biggest things I do is as a video DJ, there's only 2 times I'm going to play videos. I'll play videos to entertain your guests during the dinner time, which are wedding based videos. Which, if you want, I'm going to make a special video tribute to you and the groom, your fiance. And what how I do that is I take pictures of the two of you. Let's say when y'all were growing up, if you have those kind of pictures, and I take
Oh,
all those
yeah.
pictures and I make a video out of your pictures.
Oh,
Pa-
no.
Part of that part part of that video production is we're actually going to do a day out photo shoot. Now, have y'all already did engagement pictures?
Yes, sir, we're actually getting them done next month.
Okay. Well, if you have engagement pictures, we can use engagement pictures. But if you want to do a day out photo shoot, which is also part of your package, we could do that as well. And what that does is we actually take pictures to like most times if you have a lot of engagement pictures, that's pretty much enough. But if you want more, we can do that. And what we do is we take those pictures and we tell a story about the two of you. So like we'll say like there'll be pictures of you to tell about how you grew up, and all you do is you can look at the pictures and see how things are transitioning in your life, and then the same thing for the groom. And then we have pictures of y'all coming together, and it just highlights your actual path to your wedding day.
I got you. That's awesome.
So and that's what we put together. So in that, so you're like that's that digital video DJ, and then that's the video production that you see. So those 2 blocks it kind of covers both of those hand in hand, to where that's the
Okay.
first thing. That's the first video that I'll play, and I normally play it. Is it your cater? You say you haven't got a cater yet. Do you plan on doing buffet or plated?
Lord, if I can, I hope buffet.
Okay. So normally what I do is when that video is put together, I wait until everyone is seated after they got their food and seated. I say, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we have a special video tribute to the bride and groom, and I play that video. Once I play that video, that kind of like highlights the day everybody's watching this, entertaining them, and then gives you and the groom a moment to actually eat in peace without somebody coming up saying congratulations.
You were right, because I'm going to eat. I'm sorry. I got
So that kind of like it works. It kind of works as a tool to where it keeps everybody at bay. It kind of highlights your day, and it kind of gives a more of a sense of what's going on for your wedding day. Because like it's
okay.
always good to hear music, but when you're able to see it as well and see an image, it just kind of like lightens it up to where kind of people more get more involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from that standpoint, after the video's over, then I'll continue to play wedding-based music videos just to kind of get people more into your wedding day, or I
Okay.
should say, your wedding reception. After that is all said and done, everybody's finished eating. I'll turn off the screens, which on the screens will have a backdrop of y'all favorite picture of y'all two together. So
Okay.
so when there's no video playing, that's the backdrop for those screens. From
Okay, perfect.
from that point, we'll go into your activities, and we'll like I said, we'll do either. And normally it's no set standard. There's no right or wrong way to do a wedding day or a reception, but it all depends on how you want it done. What most people do,
Okay.
the most common thing, and I'll go through it, is you do your grand entrance into the reception. After your grand entrance, the bride and groom goes right into their first dance. After they do their first dance, they bless the food. After they bless the food, people eat. After they eat, they do the toast, which in most cases it's the best man and the maid or matron of honor. They do the toast to the
Mhm.
bride and groom. If you want anyone else to make remarks or to make a toast, then at that time they'll make those toasts or those remarks. After that standpoint, then we go right into cutting the cake, where it's more of a photo op for the photographer to capture the two of you cutting the cake and eating cake for the first time as husband and wife. Y'all will feed each other. They'll take the photographer, he or she will direct y'all on how those pictures take place. After that, um, after y'all eat cake, then normally what goes in, and after that point, it's like it can go either or. If you're going to play a game like the shoe game, then we'll go into the shoe game, and the shoe game is a real good one to play because then it kind of like tells a lot more about who y'all are and how things were for y'all when y'all were dating. Then from
Yeah, he don't know that yet, but he's playing
okay,
it.
from that standpoint, um, after the shoe game, then y'all could. That's where we do the dances. That's where we do the bride and father dance, and then after that would be the groom and mother dance, and then from there we go into throwing of the bouquet. We get all the single ladies come up on the dance floor. We throw the bouquet. Then after that we'll do the garter removal. That's when the groom will he'll choose his music selection. That's his time to shine when he takes off the garter. After he takes off the garter, then we'll call the single gentleman up, play some music for them, throw the garter, and then after the garter, then it's kind of like your final thank yous, and then after your final thank yous, then we go straight into dancing, and that's pretty much your wedding reception.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, that's the typical order. It's not an order that you have to follow, but that's kind of like the most common order that a lot of people use.
Yes, sir. And it kind of makes the most sense for me. The way you just listed everything out, I actually wrote all that down. Um, but yeah, I like the order that goes in this. If I decide to change anything, that's something I can
Okay.
definitely talk to you about.
Okay.
So it makes the most sense to me.
And there's one portion of it that like some people change, and the reason why that like most people do the cutting of the cake, and I stress this to people, is people do the cutting of the cake closer to dinner time because you don't want to take a lot of cake home with you.
No.
If you do it closer to the end or a little bit farther away from dinner, most people will not get any cake or they're probably already left. So I kind of like stress to people you try to cut the cake closer to dinner time because then you can be able to cut it and serve it and you won't be taking home a large cake. Especially if you spend a lot of money on a cake, you don't want to take
You are so right.
you don't want to sit back and then have to take here it is you put like $200+ into this cake or more, and then you got to take it home with you. Nobody got a chance to eat it.
Okay, that's very true.
So that's kind of stress that. And now, that's pretty much your whole package. Like the uplighting and light effects, that's where you choose the color of the uplighting, which I know you saw all the pictures and the highlights
Mm-hmm.
of the uplighting, and then the light effects is your monogram. Now, a lot of people know it as a monogram or as a gobo, but what that is it's pretty much it personalizes your wedding day, and that's
Yep.
where that light that has either your name or a symbol that goes on the floor or the wall to highlight your wedding day. And so
Yep.
that's
I
that.
love the monogram.
Okay. So that kind of like simplify, like I said, then like I said, the secondary photography, like I explained a little bit earlier, but as everything's going on taking place, I will be doing video clips and pictures, and what I do is I consolidate all those together, and I send you a digital. Either I can send you a DVD or a digital link to be able to access everything, so you can either share it with people, or you can just download it and get the pictures printed out or anything like that. But this is all part of your package of what you get for your wedding day.
That's awesome.
All
That's so
right.
awesome.
Now, from what you explained to me before, I think in the email, and I'm just going to skip right to it,
Yeah.
is you need support. You need for me to support your wedding ceremony and your wedding reception, correct?
Yes, sir. It's possible.
Okay. So the package that you're going to get then, and everything is at one location.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, because everything is at one location, it's only gonna cost $500. Only reason why is like you. So technically, this and I put that kind of like in this package. You can see at the bottom. If everything's at one location, it's only 500. And the reason the difference in that is because, like I said, normally if I have to go to two different locations, then I have to set up a lot, pretty much like I have to set up another setup just to do that ceremony at a different location. The biggest issue is breaking that equipment down to go to the secondary location. But if everything is at one location, then it makes it's not complicated or hard to maneuver from point A to point B because everything's right there together.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this package, you'll get um, full support for both your wedding ceremony reception and your social hour. I'm your MC, so if not unless you have someone designated, but as your MC, I will be the one to direct the entire wedding reception. So I will MC it. I will kind of like highlight it, let people know what's going on, what's taking place, and then there's a form that I fill. I might have my customers fill out if they want me to do it. Some people they have someone else that they would like to do it, which is fine, not an issue. But if I'm
Heck
MCing,
no. I'd rather you do it.
okay,
I don't need to be keeping up with someone else.
okay.
That sounds so bad.
Well, no, it just makes it easier because I personally I like to MC it because I have by me having control of it, it makes it easier for me to keep everything hype and excited. Sometimes
And you
people,
don't have to worry about someone else in your bubble.
right, because most time when someone else has another MC, if they don't know what they're doing, it can kind of take away from the wedding day. And I've
Yeah.
had that happen before, and I had to get on the microphone a couple of times just to kind of keep things live and going. But that's just one thing. And again, it's an option. I always let people I'm available to do it. I'd love to do it. But if you won't go different route, hey, I'm okay with that as well.
Look, you are my guy.
All right.
That's just all me.
For your ceremony, what I provide for your ceremony is I provide lapel microphones, one for the minister and one for the groom. Now, have you ever gone to a wedding and you could never hear what's being said up front?
Yes, Lord.
Well, what I do is I actually put these mics on the minister and on the groom so everybody can hear what's being said throughout the ceremony. So for you, we won't put one on you because we don't want to mess up your dress because we don't want no black cable or wire going around.
No, no, I don't. No.
So what we'll do is, like I said, you will be able to, with both of those mics being in that location, the minister and the groom being there, like right there in front of you, we'll be able to capture your voice so everybody can hear what's being said.
Perfect, because I'm loud enough. The world will hear me.
but that's what. But that's it. Now, do you plan on having a soloist singing or anything like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was, that's the whole part of us wanting you to do a ceremony as well. Basically, just, I don't know if there's any, like, prelude music that we will choose. But yeah, are you able to do that, or is that included, like, you playing the song for
Oh
me?
no, yes, that's all part of it. That's all part of it.
Perfect,
That,
perfect.
so that's just giving you kind of heads up on it. I provide full music support, sound support for your wedding ceremony. Also, the actual is your wedding ceremony going to be inside or outside?
The ceremony is, I'll be happy to send you a video whenever we get off the phone to give you an idea of what the place looks like. But the ceremony actually is like on a terrace.
Okay.
So it is outside. It is not covered. So hope and pray don't rain. But then literally you walk right back inside and you walk into like a ballroom type
Okay.
deal.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'll be happy to send you that video just to give you an idea.
I think if I remember correct, I think I did look it up, and it's a beautiful venue. I just was curious because that's why I asked that question because I remember they had a setup for you could do something outside, and I just wanted to just ask that question because like some people, even though it's set up, you can do it outside. Some people prefer to do it indoors, or they have a weather plan to where if it rains, they automatically go inside. So either either
And
or.
that location actually is that way. If it does decide to rain that day or some other weather situation, it can be moved inside. That's something I've already set up with her or
Okay.
setting up, so hopefully that does not happen.
Oh, perfect then. So, and so as you look at this your package, so you pretty like say everything has been covered in the package. And like if you have any questions in reference to your package, and as far as timing, I don't charge by the time. It's just one flat fee, and I'm there until it's over. The only thing And that most venues I don't have to worry about. Most venues already automatically give time for vendors for setup time, but like for me, I only need 2 hours and 30 minutes. Told me it's like 2 hours for the reception and 30 minutes for the ceremony to set up. So that's my only setup time I need. And then for breakdown, normally it only takes me like an hour to hour and 30 minutes because like technically, I always say hour and 30 minutes because I have to break down the stuff for the ceremony as well. So technically, I get everything
Yeah.
done for an hour. So
Well,
that's
the good thing about this location is I have the place from 10 in the morning to 11 p.m.
perfect. Okay,
Yeah, I was very excited about that little detail. And I actually am getting ready later. They have this adorable little bridal suite, but you are welcome to set up any time that you're able to get there, whatever's comfortable for you. I do not plan on the ceremony starting until probably around 4:30 or 5.
okay.
Um, that's my just an idea right now, and I may only be 26, but I pretty much act like a 50-year-old. So there's a high possibility that all of this will be over by 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Okay,
And then we don't have to be out there until 11.
okay.
So that's another thing. I want to give everyone plenty of time to, not have to rush and get out and forget something or.
Well, no, that see you are on it because that timeline right there is perfect. Enough time to set up and enough time to break down. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm not trying to give nobody no headache, and I'm not about to have one because I will change out of my whatever amount dollars is and just a dollar so I can clean myself up.
I heard that.
Do not play with me. It's not taking my money.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, you are on top of it.
Thank you. And so are you. And sir, I really do appreciate it. Like, you have no idea how much of a stress this takes off of me. And I fell in love with one of the weddings you did. I cannot remember. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. What was that? Oh, God. I just forgot. Rightful Manor.
Yes, yes.
That it just looked so awesome with her monogram and your services, and I seen where I think she reviewed you, and I just thought it was super nice. And then I stalked every other one else's wedding and party, so I like it.
Well, that's one thing is I try to take the vision of the customer and I really try to come as close as possible to either meeting or excelling that I try to go way and beyond to give the customer exactly what they want. And like I know with them, it was funny because with their wedding at the right manner, is we actually had to wait the day of just to make the final decision for the uplighting because I just was explaining the way it had the white brick. I said the best thing to do
Mm-hmm.
is kind of just go with white lighting, because any other color you really can't see it because it kind of absorbs it in, so it didn't really look right. But yeah, that wedding now that was probably one of my like I've done 4 weddings down in Wilmington, and it seems like every time I go to Wilmington, it's like those weddings are all awesome. But that one right there, oh my gosh, they dance all
Ragtop
night
Manor is
long.
beautiful. I
Yes.
wanted to get married there, and until she gave me that price for Saturday, I told her, nope, can't. It's about 4 G's for Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. It's expensive.
I was like, I like you, but it ain't gonna happen today.
But yeah,
But yeah,
it was a nice. But like I said, it was the thing I loved about was more so the guests because the guests came in and they were just full of energy and. I mean that's what really makes someone's wedding day special. When your guests get involved, it
exactly,
really
and that's like what I like about you. You seem like you're gonna like let everybody know, hey, like you can enjoy yourself. You don't have to
exactly
be
let go,
like you
let
don't have to
loose.
sit there.
And see
Exactly, and
my thing is I'm good for studying. Like I am one of those type of DJs. I will actually sit back and as I'm playing the music for dinner, I am actually studying your guests and seeing what songs they respond to well and which ones are. Because what I like to see is when people are eating, I like to see people dancing in their chairs as they're eating.
oh, that's gonna be me.
So that's gonna let me know right then and there. Okay, are we gonna have a good time or I'm gonna have to work hard? So
Well, see, that's the funniest part. Like my family, like me and Christian's family, we love oldies. But granted, now, we love some, older hip hop and R&B and the newer stuff. But like our oldies, man, you wait till you see my song list. You gonna
Oh,
laugh.
oh wow! See, that's what I'm looking forward to. See me, oldies. I am an expert when it comes. Not too. I'm not too fond of the new stuff, but I love
Yeah,
the old stuff.
that's like there's probably a little bit we might would like play from today's song, but like just an example, my father daughter dance that I hooked out with my dad is not gonna be your typical boohoo song. Trust me.
Well,
My dad is probably gonna be crying laughing.
most of my brides and grooms, I mean, most of the dances are more upbeat because they don't want it to. They start off a little bit slower, then they switch it up fast to where they can have a good time.
I won't be crying. Like I'm gonna cry enough. I won't be crying enough.
Yeah, wedding days will do that.
Well, Mario, thank you so much. Is there any, like, how do I start paying you? What do I need to fill out?
Well, what we do is, um, I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna finish up this, and then what we,
Oh, that's all right. I
no,
understand.
that's okay. It's okay, because I'm gonna finish this real fast, and then normally what we do is, I'll send you your contract. You fill in all the information, send it back to me, so then I can see exactly like what's going on, what's taking place, location, your time. It kind of gives me an idea of everything. After I get all the information, I normally send you. I'll send you an invoice through PayPal, and then from that PayPal will just be for your deposit. You only have to put $100 to lock it in, and then 14 days prior to your wedding day, you have to pay it in full. And if you want to pay, look, if you want to pay early, you can. If you want to make a monthly pay, however you want to do it, it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm very flexible when it comes to that, but like only thing is it has to be paid 14 days prior.
I think that's more than reasonable.
Say again.
That's,
Wait a minute, say you break it up. Hello.
can you hear me?
There we go. It sounds like you went away from
Sorry.
the. Okay.
No, I don't know what happened. It must be the little spot in my house, but I said that's more than reasonable.
Okay. But no, that's the easy part. Everything else is hard. That's the easy part. But let me go. I'm gonna go through this real fast, so that
That's
this,
fine.
this is my uniform. This is the uniform that I wear for my formal or wedding days. Now, one of the things I can do, and this is optional. Now, my normal standard uniform is black, black tuxedo vest, black dress pants, black bow tie, black shoes, and white shirt. If you want me to be color coded with your wedding day, you just let me know the color, and I will get the vest and bow tie to go along with that color. Because I most likely might already have it, but it only costs us like $20 through Amazon. So I don't mind like matching up if you want me to match up, or if you want me to just be
Oh my god.
be black and white, then I can do that as well. But I always throw that out there. But normally, if most people say, "Nah, you could just wear black and white." So that's the standard for my uniform.
Okay.
Music selection. We were just talking about that earlier, but music selection, I am like I said, is like all my music is clean. I am a family oriented DJ. That's my reputation is based on playing nothing but clean music. And the reason for that is that I'm more family orientated because to me, when you have too much music that has too many cuss words in it, it's not doesn't have the proper message. It kind of takes away from anybody's day because
Yeah.
it kind of like make someone feel uncomfortable or things like that. So I really try to keep the music selection completely clean. And then as you can see, I have over 100,000 songs and over 10,000 different types of music videos. Now the music videos, like I said, on time players like during dinner time and when it's time to dance. The dancing part, if you don't, let's say the line dancing, if you don't know how to do it, just look up at the screen and it shows you how to do it. So that's kind of like those are the type of videos that I put together. My specialty is old school R&B and top 40s because that's the music that I play mostly all the time. For most of my events, that's the music I always play. I also could play rock and roll, country, jazz, reggae, Latino, Christian, and gospel music. So I am
Okay.
uh, pretty much I know all the music. The only thing I really don't get into is the hardcore hip hop. That's pretty much
That's
the
fine.
only thing
That's
that I
fine.
don't really. And I tell people up front because like some people they like that. I don't. I can't. The message in most of that music is terrible. The lyrics are terrible, so I can't really get into it. And then the beat per minute is like dragging, so it's like really slow and depressing. So I don't like to get into that kind of
I understand.
music. these are your monograms, your different types of monograms. What we do is you will tell me, or I will give you, like, I'll tell you one website, like globalsource.com, and you can go through and look at those different ones, and from there you can give me a number. And normally what I do is I try to come as close as possible to design it to that gobo that you like.
Okay.
Um, as you can see here, this is just a sample of all the different ones that I've made before for weddings. So it's like I'm very used to be once upon a time I had to outsource these to California, and it'll cost my
Okay.
customers like $79 to order it. Now that I know how to
Oh.
make them myself, it's the customer don't have to worry about paying because then I keep everything internal, so it's covered.
Okay.
All right, now I'm not trying to make you a DJ, but I'm gonna go through my equipment really fast just so you have
Yeah, that's cool.
a summary. Now this here is the Newmark NS6. This is what allows me to control the music and the music videos. Kind of like the old school turntables, but like in this case, this is digital.
Okay.
My mixers are what controls the music, and this is pretty much like the microphones, like the four handheld microphones I have for the reception. I'll technically use the secondary mixer is just a backup, just in case the primary mixer goes down. Never happened. Knock on wood. Never happened before, so never had to use a secondary mixer. It's technically almost brand new because I never had to use it.
Okay.
For my wedding, I have the Bose digital mixer. This allows me to really like control the sound of the microphones and the sound of the music. And the reason why I have this mixer is because I have my high tech speakers, which is the Bose L1 Compact. Now, with the Bose L1 Compact are state of the art speakers. Um, the way they are designed, I'm waiting for it to catch up on the screen here.
It did.
Okay. The way these speakers are designed, you won't see them, but you will hear them. They're slim, they're skinny, and they can pretty much fit anywhere. It kind of like blends in with the decor, decoration, and like one speaker is powerful enough to power entire gym. So
Well,
for
that worked.
one speaker is equivalent to 100 people. So what I do is I use
Okay.
for the ceremony, depending on if it's an outdoor ceremony, I normally only use one, and then I after I'm done, I use all four to support the reception, and
Okay.
and it gives a nice clarity to the music and to the microphones as people are talking or as the music is playing.
Perfect. Because I was just about to tell you, granted, my guess was went higher than I thought it would, but um, I don't think we'll have more than 75
Okay,
people at
okay,
our wedding.
okay.
So if that gives you any idea, and honestly, it might be less than that because I thought we were inviting 75, and I counted it apparently 32. So we might be going back over that.
Okay. Well, look, you like I said, you got a year. Look, you got a year, so you got some time.
Yeah, maybe someone will piss me off by that point.
Well, maybe look, maybe somebody will get on your good side too. You never know.
Don't say that now. I can't be. Oh, can't be ass people now.
But that, like I said, that's why it's one of those things where people will start coming out of the woodworks, or probably people will start going into the woodworks. Either way, but you got time to
Mm-hmm.
make your changes, and then like your number, believe it or not, your numbers are what drive your costs. Um, as you
True.
add or take, as you add in more. If you take away, because like I know, like I'm taking an event planning course right now with Capital University, and that's one of the things that they kind of like as like the basic price for a wedding is like 125 per guest, and that kind of gives you like it kind of gives you an idea of what your budget would look like per guest.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you save money is there's certain things you could do to cut costs here, there, and so forth. But that 125, like 100 to 125, because 100, it depends on what type of wedding or what type of venue. But that 100 can change to 125, and it kind of gives you an idea of like, okay, if I have let's say 70 people, that means I should only be paying $7,000 for my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of gives you a kind of like a budget to work with, to where if you're trying to cut under, or if you're going over, you're trying to see what you can like balance out.
Sure. Sure. Never even thought about that
Hmm.
until actually.
Now here are the microphones. These are the microphones. I use Shure microphones. Shure are probably like the number
Okay.
two on the market. I have four handhelds, and then I have two lapels. So all these microphones are going to be used to support your wedding reception and your wedding ceremony.
Okay.
And I love these things because I've never, knock on wood, never had any issues with with them as far as cutting out or having any feedback. Now the televisions. Now once the key thing is once I see your venue, from what it sounds like, we probably won't need. Normally, if the venue will allow it, as far as space wise,
Mhm.
I will set up four TVs for a typical wedding day. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It just basically what I do is I try not to overpower the venue. So if I go
I
to the
appreciate
venue,
that.
if you let's say you say 70 people, then two like the two 42s are will be enough. Um, you don't want to turn it into it look like a sports bar. So that's why I
Correct.
try to keep it to where it's balanced.
Okay, perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, because when you see the video, you'll kind of see, like, I'll put a comment in that basically towards the front of the room is normally where the dance floor will go and the DJ will set up, and then off to the right is where the cake is, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Um, so, yeah, yeah, you'll be able to see, but I think the 242 will probably be enough.
Okay. The next thing.
And I'll check with her. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter if I have them.
Okay. Well, the next thing now, these bad boys are I call these my moving heads. The moving heads pretty much they're synced together, and they're two bright beams that they shoot to represent the bride and groom. Now, during the
Okay.
formal portion of the wedding reception, they move together in harmony, so it kind of like represent the two of you throughout the entire evening. When it's time to dance, I turn the sound motion or the sound active button on, and they dance with the music.
No, that's awesome.
So these are my two moving heads. So these are my little extra light effects. The
Okay.
and like I said, these like I said, a lot thing is a lot of people it has that kind of like a Hollywood type formal look to it, but when it's time to dance, it puts on a nice little light show.
Okay.
The next one's coming up. I'm waiting for it to pop up here. The next one's coming up are my Stinger Starlights. Now the Stinger Starlights, they are a little bit more of. I won't turn these on until we get into the informal portion of the wedding
Okay.
reception. And I'm surprised it hasn't came up on the screen. There they are. Okay, there. So with these lights, they pretty much put on a nice laser and light show. And normally what I do is I set them up to where they cover the dance floor, so it throws out that special effect. Cause like the lasers are like hearts and stars, and then the light effect gives that kind of like that disco ball type effect to it.
Okay.
So it kind of get people in the dancing mode. But yeah, these bad boys I love them to death because like I said they kind of like add to it and it kind of gets more people. I don't know me when I start seeing lights I want to just start dancing all over the place. So,
Love it.
but I don't turn those on. But technically those lights and the next ones I'm going to show you I don't turn these lights on until it's time to dance. So they'll stay off and kind of like hidden until it's time to dance. And when it's time to dance, I hit the little switch on the mic on the remote control and from
Okay.
that point they come on and they perform their nice light and laser show and everybody's happy. These here are my gobo kind of like my gobo light effects to where it kind of like shoots out different types of um, design gobo designs to add to the flavor of the dance floor. And
Okay.
again, these don't get turned on until it's time to dance. So all these little high speed different gobo type projector light type effects are only good. Like I said, I only turn those on only when it's time to dance, and it kind of like gets everybody up and dancing and having a good time.
Okay. So, are these the ones that come on when we have our first dance?
Well, I can do it that way.
Oh, I was just curious. I didn't know if there was one when you did the first dance. It really,
No,
I
and see,
couldn't
some
figure it
people,
out.
believe it or not, I have done it before where some people, they want me to do the light laser thing when they're doing their first dance, and I can do it that way. Um, it's more of it's more of your preference to where
Okay.
if you want flashing lights and stuff going on during your first dance, we can, and then I can just
Okay.
turn them off and then turn them back on when it's time to dance.
Okay. That's something I'll think about. Yeah.
Okay. Now these are my global projectors. I have two. Normally, in some cases, I've had it to where I put one like at the floor, dance floor, if it's the proper color and it looks right, I'll put one down on the floor and one on the wall. But that's
Okay.
more again, that's more of an option to I leave to my customers because sometimes my customer says, "No, we just want one on the floor or one on the wall." But I have the capability of doing both if you want it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, those are they're kind of unique because a lot of people are not too familiar with them. But after I explain it and show them pictures and examples of it, it kind of makes it easier to understand.
Yeah, I think I've seen an event you did where they had one like on the wall,
Right.
and then okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at that.
Because right manner. Because I think that's like you'll see in the pamphlet I sent you too. I think theirs was on the wall because the floor was concrete and it didn't look right for some reason. It didn't have a it kind of like the lighting hit it and it just didn't you couldn't really see it that well.
Yeah, I actually might prefer it on the wall because I don't think there's any windows on that back side where you would be. That
Okay.
might look a little better actually.
Because what I will do what I'm do is what I like we have a whole year, but normally what I'll do is I always go down and do a site survey. And when I do
Mm-hmm.
a site survey, it kind of gives me an idea of what like I'll go through, I'll take pictures of it, and I'll kind of come back and give you kind of like a full rundown on what probably will work. Like, and I'll probably like bring the like I'll bring the global projector. I'll just like kind of get an idea of what works, what doesn't, and then those pictures will kind of like reflect to where it gives you a better idea of what to make, so you can make a better decision.
Okay, that's awesome. And if I need to help you set up an appointment for that, you just let me know.
Okay, and that's what I'll do is I know once things start to slow down, because I thought things were going to slow down this month, but they pick back up. So I'm like hoping November is slow, so I can actually start. I got so many site surveys I didn't get it done for all my events for next year. But these here are the lights. I have a total of 56 light systems. Now, for most venues, I would use anywhere between 24 to 28. Depends on the type of lighting and how, like, if you have, let's say, a cake table, a candy station, anything that you have that need lighting, I will. That's why I bring the X light. One of the things you'll
Okay.
see in the pictures is that I always try to highlight the bride and groom's table, or the bridal table. I always try to highlight that because I want people to say, okay, this is where the star of the show is sitting at. So I use my lights for that. Again, depends on the color of the linen because
Mhm.
sometimes if the linen is too dark, the lights are not going to show through it. So then you really can't do much because and that's where your floor plan and your color of your linen all come into place to where I'll ask those questions and then kind of give an idea of what works and what doesn't work.
Okay.
These lights here that you see here are more so those the two ultra bars are what I use for the bride and groom, and that's
Mhm.
more so their area to highlight their area to make it brighter. The actual V bar lights are what I use to kind of like highlight like the cake table, the candy station, the guest table, anything that's particular that needs to stand out in the room. That's when I use the V bar lights for that. Now the
Okay.
actual UV lights, I'm not going to use those. Normally, I don't use UV lights for weddings because I don't want my bride to glow. Because if she has on a white dress and the UV light hits it, you're going to be glowing. You know, it's gonna like something from Star Trek or something. So we don't want to do
I understand. That's something I didn't even think about.
that. Yeah,
Sounds
people
like
see
you
those
know
UV
enough
lights
though.
and they start thinking about, oh, my stuff will glow. I said, no, I don't think you want to glow because then you really be like extremely your
You
glow.
look like you belong in a club.
Right. So I try like I kind of give them a heads up. Normally I use this for all my presentations, but the UV light, which is very rare. Only time I use a UV light is like for glow parties or white all white dress parties.
Okay.
All right, my next lights that are coming up. Here we go. Are my these are my exterior lights. My exterior lights are pretty much the ones I put up against the wall to give that glow throughout that room. So
Okay.
the colors you choose, there's 13 that are pre-programmed. And for some reason, a lot of people love the magenta. Now, based off, what's your color scheme?
My color scheme is going to be there is like I haven't decided what color is gray. Yeah, but it'll be like gray, wine, and champagne, I do believe. Sounds kind of tacky, but it's not from.
No, that sounds more like a like you're probably gonna use either magenta or a probably it sounds like either magenta, cyan, or white. Depends on the color of the walls of the venue. But that
Yeah, the walls are like a tan color, but
okay,
the floor is what got me about choosing my colors because we initially wanted navy and gray, but one, I'm not a Cowboys fan, and two, the colors of the floor are like green and a champagne color and something else, which you'll see in that video.
okay. And now, so once I see that, then I give me an idea. But yeah, and they say here you'll see here there'll be an example of the colors. But these are my so these lights are 4 feet long each, so they cover a lot of space. And normally 12, I use 12 of these for my exterior, but normally 12 is enough for most venues. I haven't come across a venue. I think the only venue that I've had so far is the Coliseum, and I think I had to use these plus some additional lights just to cover the entire area.
Okay.
The next lights I have are I call them my special force lights because they are completely wireless. They're once they're charged for 20, once they're charged, they last for 20 hours, and I can put these lights anywhere. So if we have, let's say, because your thing's gonna be outdoors, so you really only need lighting for outdoor. But if you wanted, let's say, to highlight something, or if there's certain special little things that you want to stand out, then that's when I use these lights. And I'm
Okay.
waiting for this thing to catch up. There we go. Um,
Yay.
but yeah, I have these. These are like awesome lights because they're small. They kind of fit in the palm of your hand, but they're extremely powerful.
Oh.
And like I said, I kind of like more so like for example, I do my Halloween events. I do one big Halloween setup in my yard, and it's called Dance for a Treat. So what I do is I have it set where the kids come up and they have to dance to get their treat. But it's like a
Oh, that's so cute.
it's and I do it every year. This will be my third year doing it, and the kids love it. These lights here that's coming up next are my backup lights. I always have extra lights with me just in case something comes up and you want me to highlight something, or out of clear blue something comes up and you say, "Oh, okay, can you put a light over here?" I always keep
Okay.
these on standby.
Cool. That's awesome.
And this just kind of shows like I know like well, for example, I'll have to go to California, so like this is kind of like a picture for if I have to travel. I pack everything in one container to be able to fit on the aircraft.
Okay.
In this case, I'm not flying; I'm just driving. But that's
Yeah.
what. So these are kind of the colors. These are kind of like the popular colors that a lot of people use, and like I was saying, the magenta is like I would say it's probably the most popular one of all for weddings because it seems like it goes along with almost every color scheme. Um, that's one of the things. Then you have the cyan, and then of course the white are the more popular. These are kind of like the ones for all my events. So it kind of gives you an idea
All
what they
right.
look like. Okay, you know what? I'm ahead of myself because I'm looking at the see. I'm looking at my screen here, but the online is kind of slow. So those are the colors there, as you can
Yep.
see it now. So, yeah,
Yeah. No, you're good.
and wait for it to catch up. And I think you like I say I think you've seen these pictures before already in the pamphlet. But I'm gonna go through them kind of quickly.
That's fine.
So this here just shows kind of gives you an idea of what the room looks like before and after.
Yep.
Let's see, wait for it to catch up. Wow, it's taking a long time online.
Just I look today.
Did it pause or okay? So here it just kind of again it shows you the head table area. Like I said, that's what I was saying before about I try to make sure that the head table area stands out. Then kind of give you an idea of the setup for the DJ area. Um, that's pretty much just kind of like an idea of what it looks like. But every place is different. So here is one picture of me. This is kind of like an old school setup. This is my setup right now, what I use most of the time. But again, it's based off of the venue and how your floor plan is set. So
Okay.
as you go through some of these pictures, you'll see different, like that one right there was just more of a class reunion. So I was the photographer and the DJ. So I was doing both.
Okay.
But but like I said, most of these pictures I know you've already seen them. Because I know between my Facebook page and then the packet
Yeah.
that I sent you, it kind of has all these different pictures, and it kind of gives you an idea of the different setups. Because even
I really like the way you set up now because whatever it is that you have in front of it, like the
the
little
DJ
walls you have in front of your equipment.
the DJ facade,
Okay. What was that?
it's called a DJ facade.
Yes. I
Okay,
really like it. It looks like it's glowing,
right.
or with the light behind it, and it looks very clean, and I like it.
It has a professional look. Me, I love my presentation means a lot to me because like if your presentation is good, you can't technically as long as you play the right music, you can't go wrong.
Yep.
But
You
yeah,
are correct.
but that's pretty much everything. Like I said, I know it's gonna go through and just it's gonna do a slideshow thing now, and just go through and show you different pictures. Like that's some father daughter dance I did at the recreation center, and see how the tables are glowing. Those are my tables, and what I did,
Okay.
those lights, those special force lights, I put those lights underneath the table so they can glow like that.
I like those.
But besides that, like I said, it's gonna go through and you get a chance to see all the different setups. I think you've seen most of these. It's gonna have the what is it? I'm waiting for my Cinderella to come up here because like I had one wedding where it was Cinderella. I had one wedding Star Wars, which that was a real good wedding, and then I also had my video game. I guess my video game slash Disney challenge where I had the groom wanted video games and the bride wanted Disney, and so it was like a mix of the two.
Oh Lord, this is a headache.
Oh, it was. You know what? It was interesting. It was different. It was unique. But yeah.
Yeah.
But do
I like all of them.
you have any questions?
I don't. I've been talking the whole time. We're talking different episodes. I said that, as far as like, you'll send me a contract and we'll go through all that. That's fine. But no, everything looks perfect and I'm so excited.
All right. Well, so we go ahead and stop this thing because it's like it's still going.
I mean, I'm gonna keep watching it while I keep going.
Okay.
So you gonna have to stop it. I'm gonna keep watching it.
But the biggest thing, like I said, is with me. It's more so of making sure that the vision is perfect. And I think what happens most of the time is that my brides and grooms um, they have their vision when they first start off. You know exactly what you want, and what changes that vision is when you start getting input from different places, like input from family. Then we'll do it this way and so forth. So I always try to capture that vision. So then from that point, I kind of know what you want without any interference, and I try to maintain that until you say, "Okay, Mario, just change this because I'm tired of such a talk." I hear that a lot and so forth, but I try to capture your vision versus listen to everybody else give their input.
I appreciate that.
Because I just thought about something. Is you are going to? I'm gonna go over the forms real fast
Yeah, that's fine. The only thing you're interrupting is me sitting on my couch,
because I
which is
forgot.
not important today.
I heard
We
that
need to be constructive.
because the forums are very and think what and believe it or not, the forums actually help you plan your wedding day. Um,
Yes, they do. I was so excited when you sent me the phone forms because I hadn't even thought about, like, the prelude music or what whoever walks into, and, I hadn't even thought of that.
oh, so I already sent you the forms then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, then good.
Yeah,
So you are
I'm pretty positive. Let me double check my email, make sure I'm not crazy. I'm
okay.
pretty sure.
So like the
Yes, I
wedding day
still get
forms,
this.
it shows the stuff for the ceremony and the reception.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Hello, is it? Let's see. I think it's right here. Oh my god, I need know.
Okay.